Hello guys, I'm back with another episode of Fate Remnant Collide. So yeah, let's begin, shall we? So we currently see after testing out his new weapon, we see Rex getting ready to go back into the classroom. After arriving back, he would see several of his other classmates also having their weapons ready, including Yang. As Yang's weapons would be a golden-ish colored gauntlets with seem to be almost reserved. She seems to also have a range mode, judging by the mechanism of it. And some of the bullets that are contained in the gauntlet seem to be shotgun shells. As you thought to himself, you would think, hmm, interesting weapon, but I prefer the classics, he would say. After saying that, he would look over and would see once again the teacher, aka, the advisor, aka, well, wait for a second, aka Crow, as Crow would say this. Alright, guys, we're gonna be having a little test of your weapons. So get ready, he would say, as they were told to go outside once again to do a little sparring session where everybody's basically gonna do their. Wait for a second. Sorry about that, as everybody would start getting out as they're being told by Crow to, do some sparring. As after during some of the spars, and also, some other people also testing out their weapons, like for example, a girl that seems to have I guess you'd say maybe like a sword that transforms into a chainsaw, which I mean cool, but there's no ranged abilities or anything of that sort. Well, another guy literally has a pistol that transforms into a sniper rifle, but the melee use would be pretty much useless. I mean, the range, it's going to be amazing, but still. And there's many others with pretty unorthodox weapons, like for example, let's just say a boomerang that literally transforms into a chainsaw, for example. Oh god. As you'd think, either way, he would say to himself, as after saying that to himself, he would look towards, Crow, as Crow would say this. Alright, now for the last, pairings, please, please come to the stage, or the, I guess you can say like the field, you know, not Blake, I meant Yang. As after saying that, Blake, god damn it! Why do I keep saying Blake and whatever? As Yang would start going towards the arena, or the field, as Yang would start getting ready to fight, as she would get ready her gauntlets, as he was told specifically, Rex, that he should get ready as well. And so he would grab onto his weapon, which was in a suitcase. After grabbing the suitcase, he would basically, grab his weapon, as everybody would be amazed. As he would say this, now, transform, in his mind, as it would transform into its, halberd form. As after doing so, everybody was amazed, including, you know, Mr. Drunkard over there, aka Crow, was amazed at the craftsmanship. As Yang would say this, you ready? She would say, as he would say this, as I'll ever be, he would say, as he would twirl toward the halberd in like a arc, I guess you can say, as he would get ready into a stance that's similar to Kukulane. And if you don't know who Kukulane is, well, he's Lancer. It's pretty much obvious if you already know Fate. And either way, as the fight would begin, as Yang would start charging towards him with her fist, cocked to the side, getting ready to punch him in the face. But with so much speed that it can be considered a blur, he would basically block the attack with the handle of his, halberd. As she would be surprised, saying, "What?" she would say, as she would basically get knocked to the side. As after doing so, she would say, "Fast. I never thought of somebody actually being faster than me," she would say. As he would say this, I think it's about time for you to get humbled, he would say. As he would say to himself, transform once again. As it would transform into its boomerang form, as one of the kids with the boomerang-like weapon would say, "Hey, you stole my design," he would say, as he would say this. Well, I didn't really thought of it that way, but probably coincidence, he would say. As after saying that, he would look, right in front of him, as he would see Yang getting ready to attack once again. as he would dodge it away while throwing his boomerang at her. The boomerang would slam into her into her gauntlets as she would try to block it similar to a boxer. After it got blocked, it would basically return back to it would return back to him. After doing so, he would say transform, he would say, as it would transform into its bow form. After turning it into its bow form, he would grab a few dust crystals from his side as he would start firing off blasts of earth, wind, and maybe fire dust. As after being shot at them, well, she was not really doing so well. She was currently, having a bit of a rage in herself. She would say, is he actually gonna beat me? No way, she would say, as she would start becoming a little bit confident, as she would start getting ready her semblance, as her semblance was activated. As everybody was a bit surprised, seeing that somebody already has their semblance already. As for, him, aka, drunkard over there, aka, wait for a second. As Crow was surprised seeing her able to use her semblance. Ever since the last time we saw her, well, let's just say it was disastrous. And so she would charge right in, as he would say this. Let's try this out, he would say. As instead of grabbing a dust crystal, he would start creating something from his hand. And in his hand, it would start shifting into an arrow, as he would say this. Gungnir's arrow, he would say. As after saying that, he would shoot off a blast of, I think that's supposed to be pure aura, or at least that's what, everybody saw. As when Yang saw it, she would dodge it away, as it would cause a pretty huge explosion. About the size of, let's just say, a Ford F-50, let's just say that. Let's just say that. After seeing it, she would be surprised, as she would say, "The heck? You almost killed me," she would say, as she would say this. Well, I mean, you're using your semblance, so... As after saying that, he would start getting ready another attack once again. As he would start firing off blasts, but this time they're much more weaker. About, the same levels the same level as a normal fireball from Cinder during I guess maybe ish to maybe chapter, not chapter, I meant maybe volume 1 perhaps, or maybe volume 2, I don't really know. Either way, as after a while basically punting these Gungnir arrows at them, at her, she would basically would try to block one more attack from him, as she would get an opening, as she would say, "Gotcha," she would say, as she would charge over him, as her eyes would be set aflame, as her hair would start becoming a goldenish color, almost, well, similar to a Super Saiyan, let's just say that. As when he saw this, he would say, "Got him," he would say, as he would say this to himself. "Transform," he would say, as it would transform back into its halberd form. As after transforming into his halberd form, he would basically, trip, Yang before she can actually strike him, as after doing so, he would point the blade towards her neck, as he would say this. "I win," he would say, as he would say it with a cold tone, causing everybody to be in shock, including, Mr. Drunkard over there, aka Crow, as Crow was, also in shock. As after thinking about it, he would say, Glinda must have trained him, he would say. "God, she's scary," he would say to himself, as after the, fight, he would say this. "Well, it seems that you're quite talented, Mr. Goodwitch," he would say, as he would say this. "Thank you, teacher," he would say, as he would say this. Just call me Crow," he would say. Either way, as you start looking at Yang, as he would say this. "I mean, you did your best, Yang, but, you lost," he would say, as Yang would look back at, back at Rex, as Rex would say this. "You okay?" he would say, as she would say this. "Yeah, I'm fine," she would say, as after saying that, they would start, going back to class, where they just did some normal shit. And so, after that, they would start leaving, going home, as while he was waiting for his parents, he would see Yang also waiting for her, her parents. as Yang would say this. Oh, hey Rex, she would say, as he would say this. Oh, hey Yang, he would say, as she would say this. So, you're waiting for your mom too, she would say, as he would say this. Yeah, well, I'm still pretty much waiting for mom right now, and yeah, he would say, as she would say this. Cool. Um, I wanted to ask, she would say, as he would say this. Yeah, he would say, as she would say this. Do you have a dad? Or anything of that sort? Because you mostly talk about your mom. Or just your mom. Or at least that's what I heard, she would say. As he would say this. Um, I was adopted, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, okay then. She would say, as they're just, waiting in like a bus stop, I guess you could say. Or I guess you could say a bullhead, stop, I guess you could say. As after while waiting, they would hear the sound of bullheads basically arriving, as they would see two people. One of them was his mother, aka, Glinda Goodwitch, aka, oh god, riding cop girl. But the other one was unfamiliar to him. He would see a man with, I guess purplish eyes. When the image that I gotten is this, so I'm not sure if I can't tell if it's like bluish or purplish, but or whatever. As he would also have blondish hair similar to Yang. As the man would say this, "Hello there, my little sunshine," he would say. As she would say this, "Dad," she would say. As she would jump on the man's arms. As she would say that, I meant he would say this, "Huh. So how was your first day at school?" He would say. As she would say this, "It was fun," she would say. "Look," she would start pointing at her weapons. As he would say this, "Not bad, kid," he would say. As we go back to Rex, as Rex would be approached by his mother, aka Glinda, as she would say this. So how was your day? So how was your day, honey? She would say. As he would say this. Well, it was fine, he would say. Look, he would say, as he would show off the suitcase, as she would say this. What is this? She would say. As he would say this. My weapon? I actually created it, he would say. As she would say this. I see, she would say. As after noticing, she would look over and would see Tai Yang, aka the one of the members of an old, of an old team in Beacon. As she would say this. Ah, it's been a while, Mister, Xiaolong. She would say. As he would say this. Wait, Glinda? Uh, it's been a while, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah, it's been a while, she would say. So, how's you and how's wait for a second. What the wait, so how are you and well, Raven and also Summer, she would say. As he would say this. Well, we're doing pretty good. But let's just say they're pretty much hungry right now, you would say, with a bit of a blush, as she would say this. Whatever, she would say. As he would start looking at the kid beside him, I meant beside her, aka, Glinda, as she would say this. I meant he. Hmm? Oh, who are you, kid? He would say, as he would say this. Rex. Rex Goodwitch, he would say. After hearing that, he'll just look at Glinda and then back at the kid, and just looks back at her and him, just like side to side, as he would say, "Wait, hold up. Who hooked up?" As he would just like be confused seeing this, as she would say this. Who? What? She would say. As she would have a furious tone in her voice, as she would say this. Nothing. I was just thinking. Um, I'm surprised that you actually have a child. He would say, especially with your well, personality. He would say. As she would say this. I heard that. She would say. As we currently see Rex just like going like, well, he's not wrong, but at least at least she's a good mother, he would say. As Glinda would say this. Either way, I should be leaving now, she would say. As she would basically hold on to, Rex's arm. As she would say this. Oh, by the way, he would say. As he would look back at, at Rex. As Rex would just look at him. As he would say this. Don't you even dare trying to do. Don't even dare and try to corrupt my, my little lovely my little lovely sunshine over there. He would say, or I'll castrate. No, I'm probably not. It's more like he's just like glaring at them, thinking that he's probably gonna. Well, yeah. And after doing so, him and Good, him and Glida would start leaving. So yeah, so I'm gonna be ending this episode right off here. So yeah, so bye bye.